Hi, welcome to today's video. My name is Paul. So today, something different, and you may be wondering, well, what are we looking at here? What is he talking about today? Before I got back into art, I was making a living as a data analyst. And I've always had a sort of nerdy or geeky interest in data and numbers and graphs and things. You may also have noticed, if you've watched many of my videos, that my main go-to medium, the one that I like using the most for painting, is watercolor. But I've also, over the last couple of months, been trying to teach myself to use soft pastels. And so I became sort of interested in how popular are these different media. Is there a significant difference in, say, oil painting, acrylic painting, or watercolor painting? Has that changed over time? Questions like this. Now, I don't know if anybody else out there is interested in these kind of things. People may have already switched off this video and gone and look at something else. If it's not interesting, if it's only interesting to me, apologies. Normal service will be resumed as soon as possible, kind of thing. But anyway, this is the sort of thing that I am kind of interested in. I don't have access to data that would easily answer those sort of questions about how popular the different media are. You would kind of need access to like data from shops and things showing how much people spend on the different media. But one thing I do have access to, and you have access to, we all do, is a thing called Google Trends. So this website, it's obviously a Google website, and you can type in different search terms and it will show you how the interest in those search terms has changed over time, and also comparing, for example, different regions of the world. So I typed in 4 different search terms: oil painting, acrylic painting, pastel, and watercolor painting. And this is what these colored squiggly lines are. So the blue one is the number of search terms for oil painting. The red line is acrylic painting. The green one is watercolor. And then the bottom one, the yellow, is pastel painting. And there's a few interesting, or I find them interesting, facts or things that we can see from this data. First of all, the blue line, the oil painting, from 5 years ago, there is a very slow, slight downward trend, suggesting maybe oil painting is not as popular or is losing a little bit of its popularity over time. Whereas the red line, the acrylic painting, is kind of the opposite. It looks as though it's been going up slowly over those 5 years. And the blue and the red lines were starting to converge at the sort of a year ago, sort of the beginning of 2020. This bit we'll come back to in a second. The green line then, the watercolor painting, it doesn't seem to have changed much. It was basically going along. There's a few high points and low points, but basically staying about the same. Then last year, around March, early April, most of these lines jumped way up, with the exception of the pastels. So watercolor, acrylic, and oil all jumped. And this period, of course, was when the first wave of the pandemic was going around the world. Many people were in lockdown or quarantine, or whatever word they use to describe it in your country. So I guess a lot of people were at home. They suddenly had more free time and maybe looking for things to do. And it looks like search terms for painting with these different media suddenly increased around about that time. And it also looks like at that point the red line overtook the blue line. So the interest in acrylic was actually overtook the interest in oil painting. I wonder how many of those people, whatever medium it was, how many of them did actually get into painting and how many of them continued with painting. Because the one thing that all three of these media have in common then is they show a decline during the rest of 2020. Okay, so as I said, it looks like the top three painting media are oil painting, acrylic painting, and watercolor painting. All of them saw a boost in terms of interest, anyway, search terms, around about springtime last year. And it was looking like oil painting was becoming slightly less searched for, whereas acrylic painting, the number of people searching that was increasing. So like I said, it's the sort of thing that I find fascinating. I don't know if it's of interest to other people, but anyway, something different for today. So if you'd like to subscribe, just click on the subscribe button below and hopefully see you in the next video.